Hey guys, hope everyone's doing alright. Heyo. SVG? What is an SVG? My day's been alright. Getting used to a new cat. Or rather, my new cat's getting used to us. We'll be ready in a moment. Can we get started? Those are indeed words that are on my screen currently. Those indeed are words. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Tea time. No, wrong video. Beautiful. And if everyone can hear me, then we're good. Alright, this is Gucci. Got that written down, got that ready to go. There's my scale. Hey y'all, how's everyone doing today? Tea time indeed. I will warn you guys, this tea time is going to be a shorter tea time today, because of the kind of tea we're drinking. To put it very simply, I do not feel comfortable at all drinking 6 to 7 steeps plus 2 to 3 teapot steeps of this tea. I have had it before. I use it for personal usage for TCM. So there needs to be a huge disclaimer. Do not drink this on an empty stomach. Whatever you do. This tea is not good for those people that want to drink tea on an empty stomach. Do not do it. You will feel like shit. That has been a PSA. That being said, we're gonna see how this tea tastes and enjoy it on camera and get the nice flavors and everything of it. That is also printed on the box of the tea. Do not drink Sheng Puerh on an empty stomach. You want to know why that's printed on the box? Hi, I'm the reason, at least one of them, that is printed on the box. I have been immortalized in the JTH by being the reason a fucking PSA has been put on the box and on the Sheng Puerh tea cards. At least that is what I believe. I know it only pops up after I started fucking drinking shit. So, we're gonna go ahead and bring out the sheep today. I want the round boy. Let's just say I legit thought I'd been poisoned by some of the tea he had. Of which I'm still not unconvinced. I just got a bad batch of tea. But he also was warning me personally that Sheng Puerh tea, of which I really did not have much experience with before but learning of Jesse. And I didn't know you weren't supposed to drink it on an empty stomach. So we get the round boy today. We've got the Chanjazai Puerh 2023 Ancient Tree Sheng Puerh. This tea, I can already tell you, is really good. I've never actually given it a rating though, nor have I really delved into the full experience of the tea. I've used it medicinally, however, for stuff that we do in TCM. I am not saying to use this tea medicinally. I am not a licensed doctor. I do not have a license to practice medicine. I am not giving medical advice, nor am I purporting that you should be using anything medically without the prior consulting of your own doctor, lawyer, etc. I think I hit everything? Yeah, basically, I'm not a doctor. I don't give medical advice. Don't take what I say as medical advice. I have studied TCM and I have studied traditional Chinese medicine, which is what TCM stands for a long time before even considering using stuff like this in ways to help people who are consenting as well. So, this tea is honestly nothing to be scared of. 100%. This is not one to be scared of. Just make sure you eat before it, honestly. Sheng Puerh as a tea. LOL! Yeah, so Sheng Puerh as a tea can be very intimidating for a first-time tea drinker or a new tea drinker, and that is okay. Because of a lot of the issues that can come with drinking it, if you do not do so properly or take the time to prepare properly. Sheng Puerh is also one you really, 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 really have to be careful about oversteeping. Like I said last time, actually, this is one you really have to take the time and patience to actually do it on timing every time. If you're talking about the Shou Puerh and the Sheng Puerh, I would not bother comparing them. It's two completely different teas. I've not opened my Shou Puerh. I have had my Shou Puerh tea resin, but I've not opened the other Shou Puerh. So I actually wouldn't want to compare the two. Because Shou Puerh and Sheng Puerh are two very, very different teas. That would be a lot like comparing an apple to a banana. So, what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to show you guys, one, how to make sure to prepare this properly, because this one is very much one I would like to shed my expertise on to those who do not know how to prepare it properly. This will be a very timed tea session. Like, I will literally stop talking to count out the time to make sure that, one, I do not give myself any bowel issues, because if you have IBS, you can have issues more than normal drinking Sheng Puerh if you do not eat beforehand. I have already eaten beforehand. I had a whole fucking wrap with fries and everything, so I have a lot of starches to be able to absorb the tea, so it is not hitting my stomach as harshly. One of the other things that really helps with making sure this tea is not harsh is making sure you brew it properly and for the appropriate times. The times listed here on the box, I am going to follow these almost as gospel, because genuinely, these have worked for making it palatable and making it being able to drink for most people that I've tried it with. I will say, though, that upon opening the tea cake, much as it does on the website, this looks absolutely fantastic as a tea cake. It is a very bright tea cake. I love the color of it. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to be taking a lot of my scraps from me opening and tearing open the tea cake to initially fill the cup. Yep. And then we're also going to go ahead, and that was about 3 grams of tea. We're going to go ahead and just crack this one. And about 5 to 5.5 grams is a really good place for a Gai 1 for this tea. With this tea, when drinking it with a teapot, once again, I do seriously mean follow the instructions on this tea. Like, genuinely, you will save yourself so much time and energy if you follow the instructions. And it is very much appreciated. What size is my Guy 1? I have a normal size Guy 1. I believe it's a 150 milliliter Guy 1. This one here. I also do have a 120 milliliter Guy 1. So the one on here is 150. However, follow the exact same time. The reason that I'm doing about 5 to 5.5 grams in this is because for my size Guy 1, 5.5 grams is going to be the perfect for this one. If you're using a normal size 120 milliliter Guy 1, do about 5 grams. Do make sure you can try to weigh this one. You don't want to unless you are using it for certain things, you do not want to overdo this tea. This is very much a tea that you can do if you want to get shit done. It is a very energizing tea, as I know it to be, and I am going to be regretting drinking it at 8:44 at night. So, I will be up all night, to put it very simply, and I do not mind that because I'm trying to reset my sleep schedule anyways, again. So we're going to go ahead, take care of that, put that in, and we're going to go and fill up our kettle. Now, the steeping times for this say that you should start with a 10-second wash steep, and that's going to wash away a lot of the astringentness. It's going to help open up the leaves a little so you're not getting the harsh tannins of the first steep. This is one you do not want to drink. Yeah, no problem. Glad I could do it. This is not one you want to drink the first steep of at all. Do not do it. Unless you are a seasoned tea drinker, which most of the people that watch this channel are not. Do not do it. Do not drink this one on an empty stomach. Also, make sure you also don't drink it late at night because this is a very energizing tea. There's a lot of PSAs that are going to happen in this episode, and I will keep repeating them just in case any newcomers come. Because genuinely, this is one that can fuck you up. It is a very good tea. Sheng Puerh is very good, but it is understandable why it is a very scary tea for some people. So yeah, we're going to be taking small servings of this one. This is not one I would recommend drinking full serving sizes of if you're going to be drinking a lot of it. This is one you want to stick to the tinier teacups for, because if you are sharing this with friends, you want smaller doses of it so you can drink more of it, of which we will be doing in this. And I will be giving my tea pet a lot of tea today. So you will be getting a nice patina of Sheng Puerh today, because once again, I do not want to cause myself any harm. But honestly, this tea is nothing to be afraid of once you know how to do it and how to work it. Small cups in this case are better than big cups. Yes, very much so. Now, of course, if you are going to drink this tea and you are still scared, talk with others, talk with them experiences about it, especially talk to people who are much more experienced in it than I am. I am giving you the stuff that has worked for me. I am not saying that this is gospel. I'm not saying that there is only one way to brew this tea. I'm only giving you the stuff that has worked for me to remain it so I can drink it safely. Everyone is different. Once again, I am not giving medical advice. Please do not seek medical advice from me. I do not study Western medicine. I study traditional Chinese medicine, and I also do not have a license to practice medicine. So please do not take my words as anything legally binding. I do not give medical advice on this channel. Thank you very much. For any lawyers that are watching, once again, I do not give medical advice on this channel. Don't sue me. My tea set is honestly getting a really nice patina. Yeah, so this one is pretty good. I actually look forward to having a little bit of energy in me because I got to do extra work tonight. But this will also be a shorter tea session. I'm not going to be taking extreme amounts of time to drink a lot of tea. Because honestly, I do know a lot about this tea. This was a tea cake. Whole leaf. Paired with absolutely nothing. And there's a lot of stuff that you would not experience from a tea like this normally. It's a very confusing tea, in my experience. So we're going to go ahead and get the wash sheet gun. We will be doing a 10-second wash sheet. And that 10 seconds starts now. And one thing you're going to notice about this tea is that it is a very light tea. You will get particulate through your tea. There is a very good amount of hull in this tea. Very good amount. What you are going to notice is that this tea is a very, very light tea. Like, this is pale. Almost similar to a green tea. And that is very common. Once again, do not drink the first steep. I'm not even willing to test it for you. That is why you do not want to drink the first steep. That can be very harsh on your stomach, even if you have eaten. That is washing away a lot of the tannins and a lot of the astringency of that first steep. So I will be doing 10-second steeps on this. The recommended is about 5 to 10 seconds. 5-second steeps are what I'm going to recommend for people who want the softer flavors of the tea. The smell of the tea is absolutely lovely. It is a fantastic smell of the tea. It is very light, however, it is also lightly citrusy. Very akin to a lemon. It has also got a very sweet nose, but something you wouldn't expect is this tea is also lightly minty. And in this case, I do mean minty. Not spearmint, not peppermint. You're looking more at a Mediterranean mint. It is a fantastic smelling tea. You will not have any problems with that. A lot of people who typically don't like some of the other teas that I have, I can serve this tea and they will absolutely love it after I give them the warning of, okay, you can only have this after eating. So it is a fantastic smelling tea. The aroma is very delicate. It's, I would give it about a 2 out of 4 on the scale of aroma. It is very light. You do have to look for the aroma, but it does present itself. It's just something you can't really smell while sick. So this is a Puerh. It is a very, very light tea. Some color, but not much. Let's go ahead and get our second steep ready to go. Also, you will notice there's a lot of detritus of this tea. There's going to be a lot of tea leaves that fall out. It is just tea cakes in general. It's going to happen. Do not be afraid of it. It is okay. Just make sure you don't have all of your tea leaves fall out. But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic tea. If I could get this smell as like something I could clean my house with, oh, dear God, yes, 100%. I would love to have that smell in my furniture. And make sure you do get as much water out of it as possible so you do not risk oversteeping the leaves. That is an absolutely gorgeous color, and like I said, a lot of detritus. But not much particulate in the tea, which is very nice to see. It is looking like it's cloudy. However, in my looking of it, it is just a lot of hull floating. So I'm assuming this is a very bud-forward tea. So we're going to go ahead and pour a bit in there. Pour the rest into the cup in case I want a little bit more of this first steep. It is lightly yellow, so it looks very much like a soft green tea or maybe a very light. But it itself is just a very confusing because a lot of these flavors you do not expect. Everyone, cheers if you're drinking along, and if you aren't, well, cheers anyways. So the first thing I notice on the tongue is that it is very bright. This is very much a tea you are going to, despite it being hot, is going to hit your tongue cold. And that is a property of the tea. It is a very cooling tea. The chi of the tea is actually weirdly cooling. A lot like the Yongdae Dashechuan Wild Tree Purple tea. Like we discussed. Which is, I found to be fucking hilarious that we would be doing 2 cooling teas in 1 week. At the Goat Box along earlier today. Nice! What did you think of it? That one's sitting right there. Yeah, the bug bit no long's pretty good. But this tea, you let it sit on your palate a bit, you let it take effect. Because this is one that really hits your breath, is very cold. It is the most interesting thing with tea that it is able to. Flavor was neat, but I actually found it was rather bitter. What were your steep times for it? And what temperature, if you remember? Because I did not find it to be bitter. So, first steep of this tea is lightly cooling. It is a very rich, you said 15 seconds, and you found it to be bitter? What temperature were you steeping it at? We're gonna pour a little bit more of this first steep, and then we're gonna give the rest. And my kettle had been sitting a bit. And you found it to be bitter? Interesting. I unfortunately do not share the same experience with it. As was shown as we drank it on the it's annoying to get the thermometer out. In some cases, you really want to get the thermometer out for it, because if I remember correctly, this tea... Let me go ahead and find the notes for it. Yeah, the Eastern Beauty Bugbit Oolong needed to be at 90 to 95 degrees. First 3 steeps were very light and smooth. Yeah, I flash steeped it on the 4th steep. So you may want to consider flash steeping it after the tea leaves have opened up. So consider a little bit of a longer wash steep, maybe 15-second wash steep, and then go ahead and try flash steeping it and see if that helps you. I love how I could just pull out a little fucking journal and just go, oh yeah, no, I remember that tea. That's great. So we're gonna go ahead and take another sip. So, this one, a lot of people are going to expect it to taste like lemon juice. It doesn't taste like that at all. It's actually a lot more like when you are taking off the lemon peel for drinking, if you're drinking alcohol. It's a lot like that flavor. It's a very bright citrusy flavor, and it's absolutely very enjoyable. But it's nothing like, it's not sour. It's not like lemon juice. So, a very, very interesting tea nonetheless. Yeah, so try splash steeping it after you've opened up the tea leaves a bit, and that should solve your problem. If you are flash steeping it though, I recommend going up to 92 degrees Celsius. I do recommend getting out the thermometer though, or getting a kettle that you can temperature control. There are quite a few that are like 20 bucks. Honestly, pretty good ones there. But that's one, if you're having problems with it, it may just come down to your equipment. But at least get a thermometer so you know you're not under steeping it as well. Or under temping it. Or over temping it even. Because you can have that tea at boiling and it's just a very strong tea. So, there we go, steep number 2. Same coloration, it doesn't really get darker too much whilst doing the actual Are you drinking? Now, I will note that this tea on the palate, to me, is not very sweet. And that could be because I'm doing 10-second steeps. I will try doing a 5-second steep here in a moment. To see if I can get that sweet flavor to shine through. But I do not find it that sweet. I do find it very drying of the tongue and of the top of the palate. The breath, the vapor of it, once again, very cooling. It is almost as if you did just chew a stick of mint. Or not a stick, a leaf of mint before doing something. It is very bright. It is an absolutely good tea, though. Now, I will note, even at 10 seconds, it is lightly astringent. So if you do not like astringency in your tea, I very much might consider flash steeping this. And actually, we're going to go ahead and try that with this tea. Is flash steeping it, because I am very curious to see if that is a viable way to drink this tea. I need to add some more water to my pot. So we'll be waiting a bit so it takes effect. Oh shit. We'll be waiting a bit so it takes effect, because you do not want to also drink too much of this at one moment. Because those issues that were prevalent before can come up if you drink a lot of this tea in one go. This is very much a slow sipper throughout the day kind of tea. How long do you find waiting longer between steeps to help combat astringent? How do you find waiting longer between steeps? What? I don't understand your question. Astringency is found when you oversteep a tea. I'm not sure what you mean by between steeps. Also, I remember speaking a little bit ago on this channel about taking the tea dregs from my waste bottles and turning them into iced tea. Yeah, I will not be doing that. Not exactly, no. How long you leave the tea steeping is kind of what determines how astringent your cup is going to be. Because it starts releasing immediately, but it builds up in the drink as it steeps for longer, I guess I could explain it as. So waiting between steeps isn't actually going to do much. At least for how I understand it. Phrase that question to Jesse as well, please. Because I feel as if he would be a better person to reach out to on that. As I understand astringency, it's released slowly into the tea, and builds up in a concentration, rather than, like, waiting between steeps would help anything. I'm still not sure I understand the entire question, so kindly phrase it to Jesse, see what he thinks. See if he's able to answer your question a bit better. Yeah, because I don't understand what you're asking me. All right, let's go ahead and flash steep this tea. Flash steeping provides a good color. Still a little bit of that particulate. It is notably lighter than typo. You're all good. You missed a lot of the PSAs that I gave out. So this tea, do not drink it on an empty stomach. I do not give medical advice, and don't sue me. Oh, and don't drink this one late at night. Yeah, that's all. I'm good. The guy who wanted lit on the strainer is only adorable. Honestly, it's a mood, though. Okay, so flash steeping it. While it is a method, it is not one I would find any viability in for this tea. At least 3 steeps in. I'm not getting much flavor at all, honestly. Like, at all. I'm basically tasting hot water, unfortunately. So, if there is flavor, it has not had enough time to actually steep and build up. So, that is a no to flash steeping in my case. So we're gonna go ahead and put that back in the guy 1. Yeah, this tea is absolutely a fantastic tea. It's just a lot of beginners get scared because of, you know, the warning on the box of do not drink it on an empty stomach. It is absolutely a wonderful tea for beginners and connoisseurs alike. But it is definitely not one to take lightly. We're going to go ahead and do this again. And this is steep number 4. So 3 flash the no work. So this one is more citrus fruit. The aroma is good. It lingers on the tongue a lot. This is a very light body tea, mildly tannic, and it is honestly just very... Not a lot of the main flavor profiles you would get from a tea apply here. Okay, so that was a 7-second steep. Yeah, it's honestly a very good tea. Cheers. Yeah, even for 5 seconds, the flavors are just very delicate, and this is a tea you do want to increase temperature with over time. And I'm starting to hit that where it is dying off on the flavor a little. If I'm right, this one is one that you can do 15 steeps in a 120 milliliter guy one. Once again, this is a tea you drink throughout the day, just increasing temperature as you go. About every 3 to 4 steeps, you want to increase the temperature by 2 degrees. No, 3 degrees. Yeah. Every 3 to 4 steeps, increase it by 3 degrees. This is one you drink throughout the day. This is a very energizing tea. And this is also a really good tea to drink during summer, I'm not gonna lie. Especially if you live in a hot area, because the tea going down, the warmness of it only lasts on the tongue, and as it's going down, it is honestly a very nice, cooling feeling. So, absolutely fantastic. Alright, here you go, Archimedes. I'm gonna go ahead and raise it up to... Send me over a link, I'm curious. So we're gonna go ahead and raise this up to 93 degrees and see how the flavor changes and or improves or lessens through the tea. Also, once again, I must implore upon you, do not oversteep this tea. This is not a tea you can oversteep. Don't do it. It will taste like shit. I mean that genuinely. It will not taste good. That's oversteeping. You can handle a tiny bit of oversteeping with it, but if you leave it for 30 seconds, it will not taste good at all. I found this out the other week. Does a cooling tempered tea have a greater risk of causing burns? I'm afraid I don't understand your question again. What are you asking me? What do you mean causing burns? There's the flavor again. Pleasant. Oh, okay. No, it does not. And the reason for that is that you're still drinking a hot drink. So do not drink boiling water. Duh. Do give it some time after you pour it to cool it down. Don't drink boiling water. It's not cooling in that sense. It's when it hits your palate, it's when it hits your throat and goes down, it feels like a cooling mint. It is not that the temperature of it is cooling itself. So no. I do not believe so, although I have no data to go off of for that. Treat it as if you're still handling boiling water, I guess is the answer. Very interesting questions today, I'm not gonna lie. Hello, what are you? Let's take a look at this tea. Crimson Lotus tea. I meant link me to the specific tea. But thank you so much for the website as well. Hey, there it is. Go and take a look at this. Spring 2016. Hello. You're an older Sheng Puerh. $150. How big is that fucking cake? 200-gram cake for $150. Holy fuck. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'll be buying a cake of that anytime soon. Aged Puerh is honestly a very expensive thing. Like, that one I could see. That's a bit more reasonable. I'm assuming that's also a 200-gram cake. Yeah. So that one I would be intrigued to taste. I would also be very intrigued to taste the 2016 one. If they're charging $150 for a fucking cake for it. Holy shit. Ooh. Okay, here's where that comes in of my PSAs, y'all. Right now, and this is something I want y'all to learn to expect if you happen to have gastrointestinal issues. If you drink too much of this at once, you will start feeling discomfort in your bowels. For me personally, one thing I note with this tea is if I have too much of it, especially if I don't have something very bready with it, this is one that will start to cause me cramps and very much pain. Once again, I give you guys this information so you can go forth with this and, not make the same mistakes I do, even intentionally. Please do not make the same mistakes I do. So we're going to take a little bit to let the tea settle. Because this tea is and can be very harsh for newer drinkers. Okay. A lot worse, actually. Oh, are you talking about the little slurps from the fucking... Yeah. Those are pretty funny. But yeah, so once again, please do be very careful with this tea if you do drink it. It is nothing to be afraid of, but do drink it slowly throughout a tea session. I recommend if you're going to drink this tea, you're going to actually spend a lot of time with this tea. I'd recommend giving it about 3-4 hours with this tea if you're doing a full 15 steep at the minimum, because you're going to wind up having a very interesting time drinking it. Yeah, this tea specifically is also known as something that can be very much a too much of a good thing kind of tea. Love it to death. Thank you much for the like, Mom. Appreciate you. Hope to see you soon. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and bring it up to a full 95. And a little bit. I will not be taking it to the 15 steep note mark, because I don't mind staying up a few hours, but I do mind being up for the next 3 days. How's everyone's week going, though? Hopefully everybody is having a fantastic time. I'm gonna steep this at waffles. Would you consider cold brewing the leaves and reporting back how it was? Absolutely terrible. I believe somebody else already has as well. Typo. I believe you were the one who has cold brewed this, or it may have been Forest. But this is not a tea you want to cold brew. It is no, it is not going to end well. Yes, this one I've tried. This one I specified that at the beginning of the tea review. I have had this tea before, of this specific tea cake as well. Yeah. And I believe if you were talking about it, it was terrible. Now, post-session cold brewing versus immediate cold brewing, I would still be very weary of cold brewing this tea, I'm not gonna lie. However, because you have requested it, I have no problem attempting it. I thankfully have plenty of bottles to do it with, so I'm going to only give it a max, and I mean a max, of 24 hours. Yeah, so I've actually had a good portion of this tea cake already. I've used it for both TCM purposes and just drinking for myself because I was very interesting. I found the Purple Beauty interesting cold brewed. The Purple Beauty Sheng Puerh? I can see it. I can see it. I steeped it to 15 in 1.5 hour session. And then you cold brewed the the spent leaves, and once again, if I remember correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because I do remember somebody having a terrible experience with it, was this one the bad one? Because when I did this previously, it was not good. I was also using, however, spent tea leaves. So I think the consensus may be, do not use the spent tea leaves. I have yet to try it. Oh dear! Okay. Then I will indeed go ahead. It was yesterday. Oh, fun! You mind trying it and getting us the information there? Easier to drink than in the tea session? I can see that, I can see that. I may be talking about a different Sheng Puerh then. Because I know somebody had a terrible, terrible experience with a Sheng Puerh cold brewing it. And like I said, when I've done it, it did not taste great. So I will go ahead and report it back with unspent tea leaves to see if it does have a better flavor for it. Alright, I've let that sit long enough. Yeah, this is one that is honestly like very drying of the mouth. And if you want someone else's opinion for it, you can get Typo's opinion too. This is like, the roof of my mouth right now is like sandpaper. Kind of drying of the mouth. It very much likes to leach moisture. It's fun. I'm very interested to see Typo's reaction to it. Cold brewed being spent. What is a good way to counteract that? Drink water. Add moisture. Honestly, it's an effect that's just gonna last a bit. As you drink water and as your mouth rehydrates through the day, you should be good. Yeah, you can drink both. You asked me how to counteract it. You did not say anything about drinking both water and tea at the same time. So many trips to the bathroom. Do you guys realize that after each of these streams, I literally spend like wait, oh, that's TMI. But like, I spend 5 minutes in the bathroom after streams because I go, like, my kidneys. I don't know how they feel about this, but like I feel like they feel abused. Yeah, so like if you're drinking tea that is very drying of the mouth, pretty much the only way to counteract it is add hydration, aka water. Here you go, bud. I'm gonna raise this up to 100 degrees prematurely. See what happens. It's like dehydrated meat. You want to rehydrate dehydrated meat? Water. Ganondorf? Welcome back, Typo. Oopsies! You like the post-steeps cold brew? Astringent teas do indeed lead to tongue jerky. Interesting. So post-steep cold brew tastes good. I would be as intrigued to try it, both spent and unspent. I may just use these tea leaves, because these are not going to be spent by the time... Honestly, I'm almost finished with these. I'm, not feeling great. And that's more so in the, like, I'm starting to get a mild headache. Damn it! It was oversteeped. Well, let me describe the oversteeped flavor to you. It's very... It's not a traditional bitter, but it more so tastes like lawn clippings. Yeah, that is the exact fucking face I make. That is the face I make when I oversteep tea. It is just a very... yes. Lawn clippings. Just what I enjoy. We need a I need a fucking Wushen emote of that face. Braided, can you please DM me with that exact idea? But, yeah, it's not a traditional bitter. It really just tastes like you're drinking grass. Not pleasant. Not pleasant. Still a good tea. Not pleasant when you oversteep it. And you can oversteep this one very quickly. This, keep in mind, this is only when you oversteep it. Yeah. Yeah. So with this one, with a guy 1 and both teapot, stick to 5 to second step and stick to 5 to 7 second steeps. If you do not enjoy the flavor of lawn clippings. Once again, please make sure you guys understand what I'm saying here. If you oversteep the tea, that is what will happen. This is not a grassy, this is a bitter grass. It is just not a traditional, very harsh bitterness. If you steep this tea properly, and you take the time to make sure you are steeping it under 10 seconds per steep, you will have fine. Oh yeah, Archimedes enjoys whatever the fuck I give him. Like, come on. Yeah, this tea itself is not inherently grassy. This tea itself is actually very light and citrusy and is very pleasant. I would not recommend a grassy tea if it wasn't to people who do not enjoy grassy teas. This is not one of those. This tea is actually a very good flavored tea. Just make sure you do not oversteep it. That is the caveat with a lot of Sheng Puerhs. Do not oversteep Sheng Puerh. You can get away with it with some teas. Sheng Puerh is not typically one of those teas. There are exceptions to every rule. Ugh. Oh yeah, Archimedes is really enjoying the tea though. Are you kidding? Ah, shit. Also, I'm sorry. Skill level 100 with this tea. Skill level 85. You have a little bit of leeway. A very little bit of leeway. Also, I'm sorry if my tone for this sounds like a teacher scolding their students. But like, yeah. But this is very much a... If you have somebody else with you that knows how to brew it properly, I definitely recommend letting them do it. Have you had a skill level 100 tea? Yeah! It's sitting on my shelf. Where does the red jade sit? The red jade sits right here. The red jade is not a skill level 100 tea. Fucking Mogon! I'm convinced that there is a way to drink that Mogon. I just do not have the patience nor the time to bother with that terrible drink. Mogon? There is probably a way to drink that in some fucking universe. Yeah, no. The red jade is honestly an easier tea to drink. It's a very easy tea to brew as well. You do have a lot of leeway with it. Well, if I remember correctly, the red jade... I'm gonna laugh if I didn't take the fucking notes of the red jade, like I was supposed to. Oh, son of a bitch! I'm gonna have to go rewatch my fucking stream for the red jade. It's blank. Whoops. I drink a lot of red teas. I'm gonna need you to be more specific. I don't remember it being a hard tea to make. It very well may have been. Keep in mind, we've had a lot of red tea recently, so you're gonna have to jog my memory here. Okay, so the typical thing of advanced, beginner, stuff like that teas, that's just a way to categorize how much time you need to spend with it, and how much time you need to really just put into the tea to actually learn the tea itself. Probably. Teas are known to do that. It's tea. But the whole thing of advanced, beginner, stuff like that teas, that's very much more a Western concept than it is an Eastern concept. That's just a way that we can, tell beginners, hey, you have a lot of leeway with this tea, versus, hey, you do not have leeway with this tea. What color are your leaves? I want to make sure I'm drinking the right cold brew. What color are my leaves? Mine's a very light yellow tea. Lightly gold. As for the leaves, it's more of a kind of light yellowish, with a few darker nibs in it. Maybe so. I'd have to go back and watch my stream. I genuinely do not remember which one specifically was the red jade. Oh. Yeah. Ah. Once again, give this tea the respect it deserves. Take time while drinking it. Do not try to shove all of your steeps into a very small period of time. Do not do that. Whatever you do, do not do that. Take your time drinking this tea. Give it a bit before you drink another steeping of the tea. This tea deserves respect. Not everyone will have the same experience as I do drinking tea, but right now I have a pulsing right underneath this rib, and it is not from me getting hit, because I've not gotten hit today. I see. Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, the smell of the actual leaves of this tea, fucking phenomenal, dude. 100%. Yeah. Overall rating, this tea is a 4.5 out of 10. 4.5 out of 5. I give that rating to a lot of teas, because no tea is perfect. Actually. Yeah, no, honestly, it's 4.5 out of 5. Very tasty, rich, indeed. Yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Absolutely fantastic tea. Would recommend it for anyone that wants to spend a little bit more time getting to know Sheng Puerhs. At $35 a box for a 100 gram, then it may be a little bit outside of some people's cost ranges, but honestly, like, it is... No, this was a 50 gram tea cake. $35 for 50 grams. Maybe a little bit outside of some people's tea ranges, but that is okay. This is very much more of a really, really good tea. There is a reason it is part of the Master Series of teas as well. Yeah, the Chen Pi was the 5, and honestly, it was fantastic. I still love that Chen Pi. I need more of it. If anybody wants to send the streamer bags of the Chen Pi 2019 or whatever the fuck white tea from Jesse's Tea House, please DM me after the show. Sorry, weird sickness came over. I think it was train announcers. Oh, my stomach is not happy with me. But the things I do to make sure you guys don't make the same mistakes are worth it. Yeah, this one is one. If you get the master box, it's $27 indeed, but you're also spending $110 on the master box. Do I think this tea would age nicely? I would not be able to tell you until I have aged it myself. Sheng Puerhs, as they age, typically do get better over time. And this one indeed can be a very harsh tea because it is a young Sheng Puerh. However, if done in the right conditions, I would believe so. If aged incorrectly, I do not believe so. So it really would depend on how you're aging it. I cannot speak for all aging methods because I do not age tea myself. As is kind of obvious, a lot of my tea is still in the fucking bags. I mean, these ones get airflow through the paper. That one doesn't. That one sure as fuck doesn't. These don't, but some of these I don't want aging. That one's not getting airflow right now. That one's not getting airflow right now. That one's not getting airflow right now. Yeah, like, I don't... Would the aging remove those grassy notes when oversteeped? I would not be able to answer that question until aging this tea, unfortunately. No, I'm not gonna lie, it would be really nice to get a hold of another master box just for the purpose of aging the 3 tea cakes in it. At least aging them longer. I think it could be a very interesting experiment, but I am unfortunately unable to currently drop $108 on tea currently. But I would indeed love to do that as an experiment. I think it could be very, very interesting. That would be a long-term experiment to do. The 2006 Sheng. I have a similar one to it. That's also a wild tree Puerh from 2006. So I'm very interested to see how the ancient tree show compares. I myself am very partial to the tea resin and the red tea. Also absolutely fantastic. Yeah, if I had $100 or about a little bit more than $100 to drop on a box of tea right now, I so would get another master box purely for the purpose of aging it, except for the Puerh tea resin. But yeah, at the moment I'm unable to. If anybody wanted to change that, though, I mean, I would not say no. Alright, let's see. What'd you send me? Thank you, Braden. Much appreciated. There we go. But yeah. So, other than that, is very... Whew. Yeah. Give me a moment. Yeah. So, this tea, once again, as a disclaimer, give it the respect it deserves. Do not intentionally oversteep this tea. Whatever you do, it will not end up well. But this tea is a very pleasant one if you are willing to take the time and have the patience to do this very quickly. This is a tea that you can take the time with it. Really do want to enjoy the individual steps of this tea. This tea right here, I'm going to be real with you, is a very good tea if you want to learn how to perfect Gaiwan tea making. Because it is very, very strict on its standards. So if you are looking to, like, really learn how to do this both very quickly with both pouring and then pouring out and getting a proper grip on your Gaiwan very quickly, like this, and also getting used to your hands taking on a lot of heat very quickly as if you were a chef in a kitchen, I do very much recommend this tea as a way to help hone your skills with a Gaiwan. And I feel as if others would share my same sentiment. Because this is a very strict tea, but a very, very good tea. That's why it is getting a 4.5 stars on my personal grading scale. Yeah. Other than that, we're just gonna sit and hang around a little, honestly, because Do you guys want to see fresh leaves in a teapot? Because this tea really, like, in my experience, does not change from teapot to Gaiwan. It really has almost no difference. Like, I can just tell you that straight up, having had this tea. I'm now personifying this tea as some strict wuxia master. I'd be very interested in art personifying this tea as like a really fucking tight-knit old wuxia master. That would be kind of funny. With a long goatee and everything, just showing the patience you need for this tea. That's funny. I feel like it would be easy to oversteep in the teapot. Because a lot of people regard teapot steeping as long steeps. Yes, very much so. It is indeed very easy to oversteep it in a teapot. Once again, this is for if you want to really hone the Chinese method of tea steeping. Especially in a Gaiwan. Is what I would indeed recommend it as. Yeah, like, honestly, it is an absolutely fantastic tea. I really do enjoy this tea. It is strict, and it is harsh when those guidelines are not followed. Which is not something that everybody is interested in. But absolutely a fantastic tea nonetheless. And I'm sure Archimedes really enjoyed all of the tea. Didn't you, buddy? That's right. Archimedes enjoyed the tea. That's right. Yeah, so, I want you guys to see the tea waste from this one today, because I think you guys will get a real fucking kick out of this. So this is a 1.75 liter bottle. That's about a liter of tea. That's before the teapot steeping. Now, normally when I do just drinking Gaiwan, it'll be about here before I steep the teapot tea. Archimedes is indeed very well fed today. But yeah, so that's honestly all I can really give you guys tonight. Because I know this tea well. It is a really good tea. My poor kidneys. I was just talking about that earlier. I don't know if they feel abused or not when I'm doing these tea sessions. This is why I don't do this every day. Twice a week is more than enough. But I do want to know, what tea would you guys like to see next time? I do want to note that this tea back here that I have, my Mogan Shan Green. Oh no. Give me a moment. I am very concerned about this green tea. Because this is a 2022 green. And typically, for green teas, they only last about a year. Yeah, it's a little old for green. So I'm a little bit concerned about it. I'm going to try some in my spare time to see if it is even still a viable tea. And I'm gonna know that very, very quickly. Tea resin guy 1 versus teapot. Absolutely not. It does the exact same thing. One is just a lot more concentrated of a tea than the other. No. Like, I do not say no to many things. That one is a no. That is just a waste of tea. Literally, it is just more concentrated of a flavor. That's it. Tastes exactly the same. Take a guess how I know. But all of my other teas, thankfully, my red tea, my oolongs, some of these are a little bit older. Oolongs last about 2 to 3 years-ish. So, pretty good there for those, so I do plan on drinking them over time. The aged whites and everything else are still gonna be good. But yeah, that green tea that I have, there's a reason I don't typically buy green teas myself, and honestly, that's because I'm ADHD and I fucking forget they exist. As is with the Mogon Green right here. Mogan Sean. So yeah. There's a reason I really enjoy aged teas. It's because I can forget about them for years and they will age. I was talking about just tossing a tea. I don't want to know. Why? Why would someone do that? The human body doesn't get warm enough to dilute and steep that tea properly. No. What? No. I will not be No, I will not be doing that on this channel. I do not have a death wish like that. No. No. A tea lozenge, I feel like, would be very good. Not a fucking Puerh tea resin lozenge, though. No. That is asking for diarrhea. Shit. I do plan on having some more of this Jinshan, pretty soon. It will not be on stream, because, I gave you guys my Jinshan Yinchan, tea, review. They found water in the end, but it tasted like a near thing. I don't know. No. It's not something I'd be willing to try myself. But I do not deny it could be interesting to see the effects of. I would still be very concerned. But yeah, so that's all for tea stream tonight. We're gonna go ahead and get up. My vote. Let's try an oolong since you'll have new ones in a month or so from now. An oolong, you say? So, alright. Let's take a look at ones we haven't tried on the channel. I have a Dahong Pao oolong. I have the Roasted Iron Goddess of Mercy oolong. I have... No, that's the long show, right, Puerh? I have some oolongs over here. I have a Taiwanese High Mountain oolong. And then I also have a Spring High Mountain tea, which in this case I'm going to assume is an oolong. So I have 4 kinds of oolongs here. And I believe that is currently all of the unique oolongs in my collection, save for the bug-bitten oolong. The Iron Goddess was the first oolong I didn't love. Maybe I brewed it wrong. That's a mood. Iron Goddess can be very temperamental. One of the reasons it's called Iron Goddess. But yeah, I can see that. Do you guys just want to do an oolong week next week? And keep it like week by week, different kinds of teas? We could have an oolong, a red, a white, and a Puerh week. I think it'd be interesting. I do have plenty of each. Alright, cool. So, I guess we're gonna go ahead and... These are the two you can get a hold of on Jesse's website. These two you are unable to get a hold of on Jesse's website. These two teas here were actually gifts to me from my grandmother from our Chinese friend who went to Taiwan. So these ones are very interesting teas, and technically, these two are expired. Technically. And the reason I say technically is because these remained vacuum sealed, and still are. I do not open these teas. Have remained vacuum sealed and then completely sealed after opening it once. So the air in them has not changed since I opened them the first time after the vacuum sealing. So technically these two are expired. But they are also should still be good. So we're gonna go ahead and go with the ones that we can get on Jesse's website for next week. I believe I want to start with the Roasted Iron Goddess of Mercy, and then we will move on to the Hong Pao Oolong, which I believe may not be available anymore. Let me double check real quick. Oh, wow, yeah, I have a tea that's no longer available on Jesse's website. So, this right here was a Da Hong Pao Oolong. This was available on Jesse's website during 2022 to 2023, I want to say. I do not know why it was discontinued. Actually, if somebody could reach out into the tea house and ask, that'd be great, because I'm not sure why the Da Hong Pao was discontinued. I'm gonna ask myself actually here real quick. The more translated name for that, I genuinely couldn't fucking tell ya. Da Hong Pao? I don't fucking know. Really, I don't. Let's find out. I'm assuming it is not Big Red Pouch, however. I'd have to see what characters it was. The problem is because it's in English. Okay, cool. So they are looking for a new vendor for the Da Hong Pao. Okay, so the Da Hong Pao is going to be hopefully coming back. They are currently looking for a new vendor of Da Hong Pao Oolong. So hopefully you'll see newer versions of it on the website soon. So we'll start with the Iron Goddess of Mercy, and then we will go ahead and do the vintage tea for next week. So yeah, that's going to be our two teas for next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate each and every one of you. And if you like this content, share it to your friends, family, creepy uncle, anyone you think would like this content, and share it with all your T friends. If you guys have any T friends in the server that you think would really enjoy this content that are up this late at night, please feel free to add them in, invite them, do what you guys want. Since I do not promote other websites except for, you know, the exact teas that I'm trying, and most of them is Jesse's, it seems I may have a pass to be able to advertise a little of just the tea sessions, and honestly that's all I do on the Discord when I'm not talking with people. So if you guys have tea friends, you want to bring them, talk to them in DMs, just keep it out of the server, please do, because I do not want to have any conflicts with Jesse in the future. I really like the dude, and if he asks me to stop, I will gladly stop advertising in the server, of course. So yeah, if y'all have any other stuff you want to do, if y'all want to hang out sometime, reach out to me in Discord. I do try to be in the early morning sessions of the tea sessions. I just do not wake up that early. Yeah, other than that, y'all have an absolutely amazing night, and I'll see all of you absolutely amazing tea in the next stream. Peace out. See ya. I don't know if I'm streaming tomorrow or Friday this week. I genuinely do not know. I wake up at noon. Fucking mood typo. But yeah, y'all have an absolutely amazing night, and stick around for the end music. I might be streaming Thursday and Friday. I genuinely don't know. If I am, great. If I'm not, also great. Peace out. See ya. End music! Ba, 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 ba. Oh, by the way, I'd love to make it to some of those morning VCTs. You know, honestly, mood. By the way, if there's any artists in chat, I would love to talk about possibly seeing if we can make some designs for tea schedules for the streams, because I would love to have something like that. So that I can actually advertise this stuff to more people, I'm not gonna lie. Because I'd love to have plenty of tea friends who are interested in tea and learning it. So. Have a great night, y'all. See you later.